What do you mean?
Where you coming from?
Home.
Straight from the house, huh?
Yeah, I had to go get my interlock
Yeah, you good.
adjusted.
Interlock. That's the
Thing I have to blow in my truck.
Shit. I never had one of those.
Bro.
That's tough, huh?
That was before my time.
That is not tough. That is easy.
Yeah.
Compared to the alternative.
Yeah, you can adjust that however you want, man. Move
Well,
it
when
around.
you're sober, it's not a big deal.
No.
You don't have to figure it out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, this is the second time I've had one of those, right? When I was younger, I found myself in this position. Then you're always trying to figure out how to get over on the machine.
Oh, yeah.
Who can I have blowing this thing today?
But
Man,
Well, in the Army,
that was so close, man. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Yeah, but now I don't have any issues about it. You know,
the world's different when you're not
making the
looking
thing
over your
work.
shoulder.
Yeah, bro.
when I first got sober, LA is full of sobriety checkpoints.
Oh,
And I, someone, they put it out there. Oh, there's going to be a sobriety checkpoint after this show or whatever. I purposely drive through them because they give you a pen that says, I passed. I made it through, and they go, well, when was your last drink? And I go, July 28th, 1992. And they go, you're one of them. Here, take your pen and get the hell out of here. This is your fourth time this month. Stop
Yeah, I'm
it.
one of them. Absolutely.
So, man, what we're going to do today is just kind of chat just like we did at coffee the other day and spend a little bit of time. I'm going to go back and do a pre-production kind of intro, some graphics and some things like that, work with my graphic designer and things like that. But really where I want to start, man, is let's just start with, like, tell me your name and where you're from.
Yeah, my name is my given name is Tracy Curry. From Dallas, Texas. Born in the West Dallas, in the projects in West Dallas.
Yeah.
Raised in parts of Oak Cliff, in Mesquite, in North Dallas.
It's my hood.
Man, I've been everywhere.
Yeah.
And I love Dallas.
Yeah, you can tell.
Dallas Fort Worth. And I try to include all of us.
Yeah.
Because we're all in this region. We're in this pocket together.
It's not like it once was when we were kids, that's for sure, right? It's a much bigger town. Dallas is a big, big city now, so.
We're growing every day, bro.
Where did you spend the most of your time? Oak Cliff, Mesquite, Balk Springs? Like, where did you grow up?
Most of my time was spent in going back and forth between West Dallas and Oak Cliff.
Yeah. Any fond memories of that place that you really?
All I have is fond memories.
Really?
Dallas was great.
You shared
When
something
we were
with
young.
us the other day when you said, let me try to phrase this right. You said, when we're all going through the same thing at the same time, at the same place, it's just normal to us.
Yeah.
So when you grew up, was it poverty-stricken? Was it a primarily black neighborhood, white neighborhood mixed? How was that?
Well, it was just a primarily poor neighborhood.
Just in general. Yeah.
It was a lot more black and brown, but it was some white folks out there.
Yeah.
But everybody was broke. And so nobody,
Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was happy because nobody had. So you didn't even know
So no
you
different.
didn't have. You know, everybody, the worst part was taking the food stamps to the grocery store. You had some misgivings about having to, but shit, when excuse my language, but when you were young, you don't even care about that. You were happy to have those little.
I remember going to the market all the time with that money growing up. It was normal to us, like you said. There was nothing normal. Rick, did you grow up on food stamps as well?
Not on food stamps, but we were on a very, very tight budget. We were lucky that my aunt.
You guys had a budget?
Yeah, right.
My aunt had sold my parents their house before they split out of the LA area and moved to New Mexico to get away from the rat race. But my mom, just as an example, she'd make cream of wheat for breakfast, right? Because it was cheap. And then what she would do is what was left over, she put it in a Pyrex pan, put it in the refrigerator, and then for dinner she'd plop it out, cut it up, fry it, and we'd pour syrup on it and eat it for dinner.
That sounds good.
And I didn't think, like you said, I didn't think we were poor, But if I tell other people that, they're like, damn, y'all was poor, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all relative to, you know, and we were talking about this the other day. I got all my clothes from the neighbor kid. You know, kids nowadays, I mean,
that's unheard of.
You just, and they were Tough Skins and Kmart stuff.
Hey.
Sears and Kmart, you know. So I didn't know there was a mall that you could go to and go to like a Neiman's or any. I didn't know about that.
We did. We used to go to Town East and shoplift at that sucker. That's wow. Tracy, you got brothers and sisters, man?
I got 3 older sisters.
3 older sisters.
I'm the youngest of 4.
Close with them?
Yeah. We were a close group.
Yeah.
My family's very close.
Tight. Like, what's the age between you guys? A couple years?
There's a couple years between each of us.
So still enough to be relevant to one another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think my oldest sister is about 63, 64. I'm 57.
Yep. So, okay. So that's a pretty tight little niche there. I'm like 6 years apart from my brother. So there was a span of life where we just didn't even compete with each other. What about kids? Got a couple kids?
I got 4 kids.
4 kids. Boys or girls?
2 girls, 2 boys. The girls came first and the boys came last.
There you go.
And they are everything. You know, they each brought something in particular when they came here.
Yeah. Special gifts.
A gift for me. Yeah.
Amen.
And I value them more than anything else.
I tell you what, when people ask me about titles, I don't really care about titles so much, but the one title I do care about it and the most prestigious to me is dad.
That's right, brother.
That's the only title above Marine, above husband, dad, because that means I'm setting foundational principles in that boy's life. I only have one son.
That's right.
That changes the legacy of my name. Kind of like what you're doing right now, man.
Absolutely, bro.
So the legacy that you built started in DFW, Oak Cliff, West Dallas, kind of little Mesquite. You know, right about that 98 or like 1988-ish,
87.
Right? The Fila group kicked in, right?
Yep, 86, 87.
You got the name from the shoes or what?
Yeah.
I knew it.
The guy that there was a guy he was a DJ on a radio station called K104.
Yeah.
And he had just moved here from LA. Mm-hmm. And so I guess it was a popular shoe up there. I didn't have any. You know, but that's what he wanted to name the group.
Yeah.
So that's what we named.
What was his name again?
His name is Dr. Rock.
Dr. Rock.
Dr. Rock, yeah. And he had been, there was a group called the World Class Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
And it was a group of DJs.
It was breakdancing too, wasn't it?
No.
No?
Just DJs.
DJs, okay.
In LA.
Gotcha.
And he was a part of that DJ group. And then he moved here, and then Dr. Dre took his place.
So in 1988, were you kind of already in the hip-hop scene, or was that new to you at that point?
No, the hip-hop scene from 84.
Yeah.
I fell into it, like, seriously.
Gotcha.
84. Mm-hmm. Crush Groove, the movie came out.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big deal, and everybody wanted to be. And I saw Run from Run DMC, and I said, I want to be that guy.
That was iconic at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I fell in at that point. By 86, 85, 86, I had heard this guy Rakim.
Oh, yeah.
For the first time, and then I got serious.
That's when he hooked you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That dude goes down as a pioneer, man.
No question.
Yeah.
Without question.
No doubt about it.
If you had to put 3 on actually 2 or 3 on your top list, all-time best hip-hop influences, not necessarily best artists, best songwriters, influences, because really what music does is it influences culture.
Right.
Right? So who would be your top 2 or 3?
It would be Rakim.
Yeah.
It would be Run and Slick Rick.
Those
guys had the most influence.
I haven't heard that name in a long time. Yep. Yeah, for sure. If you had to put like the punk rock scene, 2 or 3 that you feel like changed culture in the punk rock scene, who would it be?
Definitely the Clash.
Yeah.
And just because of the crossover that they did, going from pretty hardcore into a little more ska influence.
Yeah.
And then definitely Black Flag, but the early Black
Pioneers.
Flag.
Yeah.
And then, after that, I'd have to give it to probably the Germs for helping create that Los Angeles scene.
Yeah.
Darby Crash was, a hero of mine.
That scene was insane. Just the LA scene. I mean, you lived in it too, right?
Yeah, but it was a different, it's a different scene. Although LA, I guess on the whole, when you get down to it, it's kind of similar.
Yeah.
Well, I can say this: the LAPD didn't like either one of us.
Right.
Let's just put it that way.
That's right. And we didn't like them either.
I'm telling you, man. It's crazy because all three of us can sit in this room here, and I'm a very metal influence. I like heavy metal, hip hop. You got punk rock, but at the end of the day, we're all here because of faith, recovery, and the future. Right?
Absolutely.
And that's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
I love it, man.
There's a band called Youth Brigade that did a kind of a spin-off of F the Police, and it was called Men in Blue. And they brought in a hip-hop artist to do the rap part of that song, and it's what you going to do about the Men in Blue. And it was similar to what N.W.A. was putting out there.
Yeah.
Just good stuff. I mean, and I think that's what I loved about that LA scene, is because it was a crossover, but it was very different.
Yeah.
Hey, Tracy, you did some crossover too, didn't you? You worked with Mike from NoFX, wasn't that it? What was that all about?
He was starting a group called the Co-Defendants.
Yeah.
And they asked me if I would rap on the song, and I was like, okay.
This is post-accident, of course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago.
That's so badass.
And it turns out that people like the stuff.
I love it, dude. That's what's so badass about music is it don't matter color, creed, religion, none of that trash. It's all just about music, man, and the impact on the culture and the vibe and just the synergy of the people around you. I go to shows all the time with my son, and it don't matter who's in that crowd. Every single person that gets on that stage always says, it ain't about you or you, it's about us.
Yeah, bro.
As a collective. And that's the beauty about music, man.
I love Mike. He's such a genuine person.
Yeah.
He's a genuine fuck up through and through.
Oh, he's hilarious.
But he's a genius musician.
Yeah.
One of the great producers.
Really?
Yeah, man. He really knows his stuff. He reminds me of Dre a lot in the way that they create.
Yeah.
Anybody that writes a song called Hot Dog Down a Hallway is okay with me.
There you go. There you go. He and Dre both live in those minor chords.
Yep.
Which is the heart chakra kind of space.
Minor chords that's a feeling. That's where feeling comes in.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, they live there. And so you that's right, you feel their stuff deep.
And that's why it has the effect that it does on the populace.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
So, man, I haven't said it yet, but I'm grateful that both of you have showed up here today to kind of join me on this journey. The battle between podcasts is exactly what it says. It's the battle here in our head. And what I'd like to do today is you and I talked about this the other day at coffee. I don't want this show and this message to be so much about your hip hop career or the wreck. Like, people can Google that stuff. I mean, there's a million things that tell everybody what's going on with Tracy, AKA the Doc, right? Mm-hmm. What I'd like to kind of focus on for kind of moving forward into this next segment would be, the things you did happen very quick. Like, it went from 85, 86, where you got the hook with the hip hop. Next thing you know, in 91, you co-founded Death Row, which, I mean, that in itself was sort of like an empire in the hip hop industry or whatever. What, if you can sum up 5 years to condense it for the audience and for our listeners without having to retell that story again a million times, what are a couple of things or lessons that you feel like you got from just the experience of the hip hop industry, being the voice is what they called you behind the scenes? Like, got a couple of takeaways from that whole experience. What would you say, like, are the iconic moments for you, I guess?
Well, the one thing that resonates the loudest, especially after finding a home in AA the way I have, is that it's all a God thing. Like, for me, it goes back to that whole journey started with a prayer.
Really?
Because I didn't want to go to school anymore. It just didn't work for me. And I prayed. I said, "This is what I want to do."
Yeah.
But what I wanted to do didn't really exist back then. Mm-hmm. It was just a fledgling art in New York City. It was blowing up.
Big time.
But it wasn't in LA yet,
No.
and it didn't even exist in Dallas. So my family was like, "That's stupid. You
Far out of the box.
Yeah, man. You better take your ass to school, or you going to the Army."
Yeah.
And so I prayed. I said, I don't want to go to the Army. This is what I want to do. God, if you would just allow me to do this, mm-hmm. I promise you that when I get there, I'm going to tell everybody it was you. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
That was in 80. You see, the feeling came in 84, 85. Mm-hmm. The ultimatum came in 86, 87.
Okay.
And the prayer came. And then by 89, I'd sold 3 million records.
Just say that again. 3 million records. Dude, that's insane, man. Yeah. Even from a musician on my part that just played some little bullshit, dive bars, and I just had a blast doing it. 3 million records, that's no small feat.
3 million records. And right after that is when the accident happened.
Yeah.
Then when the accident happened, I transitioned to building in other ways through people instead of for myself. And then that's when me and Dre moved towards the death row thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to work out, but I was in this world that I didn't belong in.
That was a very volatile record self. I mean, that whole world was volatile with being at the head of it.
I'm not a thug guy.
Yeah.
But I'm hanging out with all these thug guys. And
were they truly thugs, though?
Oh, yeah.
They're gangsters?
Oh, yeah.
Like no bullshit, huh?
No question about it.
So the stuff you see all over the internet and the radio and the TV, that's some real shit, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
It's worse.
It's worse?
Yeah, it's worse.
We'll talk offline about that. So if I'm hearing you correctly, the one thing that you took away from your experience is that God put you in that place, right? Mm-hmm. But also the other thing is from after your accident, you became more of almost a networking person more than like in the background. So you were putting together a lot of different things, right? What's your most proud achievement, you think?
The thing I'm most proud of has nothing to do with music, bro.
I love it.
The thing I'm most proud of is that I'm a good dad.
Hell yeah.
That's the thing I'm most proud of, is that I'm here to be a father, because I didn't have that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not having my dad in my life the way I think if I had him, I would have been a different guy, is what drives me to be a great dad to my sons.
Amen.
So that they never have to experience those kind of things.
I have the same drive.
And I never ask him to meet me in the morning because I know he's cooking breakfast for his kids.
That's right.
He told me that, man. He said,
every morning,
hey, don't hit Tracy up till 10 o'clock. Leave him alone. He does breakfast. I said, you know what? I absolutely love that, man. It's a big reason why I started my own business, because success to me isn't money.
That's right.
Success to me is being in control of my own time and intentional with it, right? Since I've started my business 8 years ago, man, I've spent more time with my family. Before I was traveling 2 weeks a month. I was all over the world doing this and that. So, man, I respect the hell out of you for saying that, because out of all the things that you've done, to say that that's your most proud achievement, dude, respect, brother.
Thank you,
sick, man. That's
Thanks,
so cool.
Bro.
Well, and as he says, and I'm just quoting you, it's not the D.O.C., it's the G.O.D.
That's right. That's right. It's not a deal. This whole journey has been purposeful.
Yeah.
So that I can not tell people, but show people.
It's about that action.
Yeah, bro.
Always.
Because a lot of people bump their gums. Yeah. But if you watch, like I've always been a teacher. I've been doing this the whole time. I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
But now I know it, and I'm purposeful with it.
Mm-hmm.
And everything starts at home for me. And so with this school, everything starts in Dallas, Fort Worth. Yeah. It has a national scope in my head.
For sure.
But I got to start in my own backyard.
And for the listeners, what he's talking about is the Dreams Experience Academy, which is ironically the DEA, which is kind of cool. I like it, right? I told you guys this when we met the other day, that I'm super passionate about the youth, the mentorship of the youth, right? And I firmly believe that we have to take this country back through our youth. So tell me, at what point in your life, obviously being a dad has probably a massive impact on what you're doing now, but I have a defining moment. Rick has a defining moment. Was there a defining moment for you where you said, hey, my focus is now going to shift to the kids?
Yeah.
Yeah?
When well, it started when my second daughter was born. I'd been locked away for a year. And when I got back, she was so devastated because I hadn't reached out to her. I realized that I had to change kind of who I am.
Damn, we got a lot in common. I didn't even know.
But when my sons were born, bro, that was it. Like, my first born son, his name is Legend Love Curry. And I named him that so that his initials would be LLC because I knew that it's time to handle your business, and this is your business.
That's cool, man. That's real cool. How old is he?
So great.
He's 10 years old now.
10.
Yeah.
So your boys are 10 and
8.
And then your girls are
21 and 31.
Oh, so you said, hold up. You greased right past this. You were locked away for a year. You can't just smooth right past that. So you were in jail for a year?
Yeah, for drinking and driving, same stuff.
And that's what brought you to the accident.
Mm-hmm.
So they did lock you up for a year for that.
Yeah, no, this is after the accident.
Oh, so so your sobriety now, to the listeners, my man has 1 year today, which makes this show even more special. So congratulations there. You told me drinking had always been an issue for you, as far back as you can remember. Yeah.
I'm from West Dallas Projects, where drinking is a badge of honor.
Say no more, right?
You know, in your family, my grandmother drank a 12-pack of Coors Lights, like it was water. And so when you get old enough to get a job and you can drink with your grandmother, you're grown.
Yeah.
And so that was the key to life for me.
Yeah.
But like they say in those rooms, it affected me differently than the average person. I couldn't not overdo it.
Now, were you a happy drunk? Were you just a sloppy drunk? Or like me personally, I was an angry drunk. Like, what type of drunk were you?
I thought I was happy.
We all do.
I was an ignorant drunk. Just let's.
Yeah.
I was Evil Knievel when I'm drunk. I want
hell.
to dive across the thing and run my car over this and just ignorant shit.
Did you find yourself, like most alcoholics do, drinking alone a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially after the accident,
Really?
Alcohol became my the tool I used to deal with the pain.
Medication.
Wait, so the thing that put you in the hospital for all those months was the same thing you turned right back to afterwards? Mm-hmm. What was your thought process with that? Just numbing the pain?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And with the alcohol and a drug, the first time I tried a drug, I had to crash.
Really? That was the first time?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
What's the odds of that,
There's
man?
your sign.
Yeah, right.
Really? Yeah.
And so I got out of the hospital, and I just went right back to it. They tried to make me go out on tour, but I couldn't physically do it, so they wanted me to lip sync it, and that put so much pressure on my pride and ego. I had to get just totally
You don't even probably
inebriated.
remember that show, huh?
Nope. I did 2 of them. I passed out on stage on one of them.
That's a lot of booze, man.
Yeah. Because I just didn't want to be there, bro. I did not want to be there.
Was that here in Dallas?
Yeah.
Yeah. What venue was that? Do you remember?
It was at Fair Park.
Oh.
Okay.
My dad, who had never seen me perform, remember, he wasn't there.
Yeah.
As a young guy. So I had already blown up and everything was great, and he thought the world was mine.
Yeah.
He unbeknownst to me, he came to that show.
Oh, so you didn't even know he was there?
No.
What?
Wow.
And what he saw was just the worst.
you know, that's the thing about sobriety, man, and recovery and alcoholism and drug addiction is like, we don't think it's a problem. Like, Rick, you've been sober here longer than all of us. Expound on something like that.
Well, you know, I think the demons that we all have is why we, you know, took it to the extreme that we did. And then we have the disposition genetically.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about your grandma. I mean, you know, I'm adopted. My biological family, it's rampant, you know. And so, you know, once you get that in you and the cellular process takes over, you know, it's not just the cravings, but it's also the numbing, you know, and it's one of those things where you do it to numb the pain, but while you're doing it, other bad things happen. And so it's just this vicious, you know, cycle of trying to fix the problem the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know, and the blessing of, you know, where we are today is watching somebody like this do what he's doing.
Yeah. 1 year is amazing, bro.
Well, and what he's doing, he's
all the other
actually
stuff.
standing behind what he says he's doing, which is he wants to change things. He wants to be of service to his community.
Yeah.
He wants to make a difference in people's lives. And his service work starts immediately at home.
That's right.
You know, I mean, and he's building out from there. And that, you know, when people see me now, they have a hard time putting me in that box of who I used to be.
The addiction box.
Yeah, because what they see now is what we do.
They see golf shirts now.
Well, you know,
Swinging clothes.
just covering up the truth.
Rick likes pink. He wears pink.
Yeah, he
a
does.
lot. This guy.
He's
Yes,
a
I
tough
do.
Pink
dude.
and powder blue. But I want to say this.
Yeah.
I had more than a year before.
You did.
Yeah. When they locked me up in 2011.
Okay.
And when I got out, they wanted to give me, you know, this huge number. But when I got out, the judge would call me in this place, and it wasn't a prison. When I say lock me up, it was like Safe P.
Yeah.
It was like one of those
Halfway
farms.
house.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I did that for a year. And then when I got out, I knew that the penitentiary is something I did not want. And so what they call it, white knuckling.
Yep.
In AA, I did that for almost 10 years.
So you were clean for 10 years,
Yeah.
but white knuckle clean.
Yeah.
That's tough because you're just battling it every day.
You know, I just didn't want to go to the pen, you know.
Who the hell does?
You know what I mean?
Shit, man.
And so in 2020, I had what can only be described as a revelation, where God came and spoke to me in my front yard in Rowlett.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you can let go of that pain. What happened to you all those years ago wasn't your fault. You didn't do it. I did it. I did it for a purpose.
Wow.
And you're about to walk in that purpose.
Here you are.
Yeah. And so that was the year I got the idea to make the film. And everybody I called and said, I want to make a film.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go. I called the producer, I called the director, I called the executive producer, the money guy. I only made one call to all of these people, and everybody said, let's go.
And they were in.
Yeah,
And
this is right during COVID.
I'm sure, even including myself, I'm interested in seeing that. Do you foresee that showing up anywhere in the public eye in the next 10 months, a year, hopefully?
I think 26 is going to be a really, really big year for me and this story.
I love it.
But it's not about me. It's about Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yeah.
I'm just the vehicle.
Yep.
It's our turn down here. It's our turn
Isn't it?
to be LA, to be New York, to be Atlanta, to have all the accolades and all the businesses and all the money.
There's too much value in the DFW area. People just keep looking over it and looking over it.
Hell yeah, it is. And now, so one thing that I'm doing with my school is preparing these kids that come from communities that I came from for these opportunities so that they could grab them, make the best of them.
Yeah.
Because they want to do what I did. So if you want to do what I did, come this way, because I simultaneously represent everything you should be doing and also everything you better not do. You know what I mean? And so I'm here to give it all away.
Yeah, so for the listeners, what Tracy's talking about is D.O.C Cares, the nonprofit that you started with your team over there, and then under D.O.C Cares, that nonprofit, that's where the DEA shows up, not the police, but the Dreams Experience Academy.
Yes.
There. So is that D.O.C Cares is the umbrella?
Yes.
Which underneath all of that stuff, that's where you start helping at-risk youth
Yes.
and the poverty in the communities and start putting yourself out there. Where are you at in that journey right now?
So we started beta testing our kids in our first vertical curriculum, which is gaming. The 4 curriculums that we're going to base our format on at DEA is gaming, music, entrepreneurship, and software development tech. And so I'm giving these kids every opportunity to get connected to these spaces and places that I'm already involved with in business, where my music is concerned or where my film is concerned. Give these kids direct access to the places that they want to go get a job at. Because college ain't for everybody. But the thing that's cool about DEA is that it's STEAM accredited, and these are courses that transfer to college. You know, these things are all accredited, so you get.
It's got multiple value.
You get credit for you get credit for taking my courses. They transfer into a 2 to 4 year school, or you can go right into the workforce. You know, because most of the kids that come from where I come from don't have an aunt or an uncle that are working at Disney,
L3, Raytheon,
you know
anything. Yeah.
So I got to do what I can to get them a leg up.
So the process to let's say someone that's listening to this goes, man, I love that. They look on the website, D.O.C Cares, they find out what's going on. What's the process to get enrolled into that academy?
DocCares.org is the website. And so I was saying we started beta testing our kids this summer.
Oh, so you're still kind of rolling out the process and how you're going to, okay, so we're
building the first vertical of gaming right now.
I love it.
Trying to be ready to go into private schools next year in Dallas in the spring. And so my hope above all hopes is that vertical will be prepared to go into DISD next fall.
Okay.
And once I get inside the system, I got you.
That's it.
Yeah.
So if someone's listening to this and they go, hey, man, I got an inside plug on whatever it may be that falls into gaming, music, entrepreneurship, or software development, where can we reach you at?
It's all in the website.
Just follow the website. So it's doccares.org and everything's there.
Everything is in the website.
I dove into it too, man, and I was extremely impressed with the thoughtfulness of what you put together, how it was built out, and the fact that you guys have taken the course levels to a point of things that are doing nothing but getting more important in life. That's huge.
It's
that's
the jobs of tomorrow, bro.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is kids are no different than grown-ups. We never change. Everybody wants commerce.
Yeah.
People want some money, and they want to be acknowledged. They want to be heard.
Yeah.
They want to know that they exist. And so the stuff that these kids are doing out in the streets are to do those two things, really, basically. They're trying to make some money, and they're trying to get themselves heard and seen.
Yeah.
And so if I could provide for you a better way, a better route to do that, everything you want is here. And you can have it, and you can keep it, and you don't have to take penitentiary chances to get it.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I require of you to be involved in this process is, because it's basically free to everybody.
Yeah.
Is to be serious about your schooling. One of the things that I learned through a community-based center called 4 Oak Cliff is that in the super block, in 75216, the truancy rate is almost 50%.
I read that and I said, you got to be shitting me,
Yeah,
man.
bro. That's
crazy.
That's not good.
That's right. That's right. And so what I understand, just as a layman, just as somebody that puts two and two together and makes it make sense, is that kids that play sports like football, baseball, basketball, those guys are going to school and getting 3.0.
Because they have to play.
Yeah. Because they want that. They see their future in that ball. So even if they think, science or psych is not doesn't mean anything to them, they're gonna go in and put that work in because they want that ball. So when you took arts, when you took graphic design, when you took music out of school, what about all the kids that don't run, jump, and throw?
Damn, I never thought of it that way, man.
I mean, think about that. When we were kids, we had shop.
That's right.
You could go learn. What was that? Where you go in and learn how to cook.
That's right.
I mean, teaching kids skills that you're going to be actually using, and that's when I dove into this, I was blown away because I've heard this from so many people that go to the magnet schools, that that's where opportunity is, but you got to have connections to get into these schools.
Exactly.
We need another way to do this, and that's what he's doing, and it's just so powerful because you're right. I mean, if I can't play basketball, golf, or whatever and get a free ride and get the opportunity, what the hell am I going to do?
It gives purpose. That's what I'm seeing out of it. That's what I'm hearing because, I mean, you've been, Rick, professional golfer, damn near close to it, right? You've been in the industry of music and video and film the whole time. The percentage, I mean, let's be real, of people that go pro on anything is very, very small. So the moment that they started taking all these value adds out of school and that they just started saying money for seats, because really that's what the public school system is.
Right.
Asses in seats equal
That's
dollars
right.
in pockets,
That's
right?
Federal funding.
That's
And
right.
I'm telling you, man, my son saw it clear as day. COVID hit. They started going to school from home, and he walked up to me, and this joker's like freshman, man. Like, he still don't even know much, you know what I mean? But he says, Dad, I go to school like 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, but like I just finished all of my schoolwork in 4 hours for the week. And I had to sit him down and say, bro, there's a whole different scheme going on here that you don't know about, man. It's a totally different thing, man. So your kid's being in school right now. How do you feel as a parent? What's the school system?
You know what? That's a whole nother argument. That would take a whole nother show.
We could schedule it, yeah. But in a nutshell, like, are you happy with the way this is going or no?
No.
So that's why the DEA for you is something you can.
That's one of the reasons.
Add. Okay, so there's more to it than this.
That school just, like, it's almost as if it's purposefully hurting these kids.
It's designed, man. That way.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I don't want my kids in that hole, because if you're going to build this thing so it works for your kid and build it so it works a different way for my kid, that's not cool.
No.
And I think at a global level, it's built to hurt all of the kids. They're not teaching them shit that's like, imagine if we were kids and they say, hey, sit down here, I'm going to tell you about taxes and how you can take advantage of the tax strategy.
That's right, brother.
Or I'm going to tell you about entrepreneurship. Man, I
right,
don't even know what the hell that word meant.
That's right, brother.
Until I got sick of working for somebody else, and I was like, what is this called? Oh, I'm going to do this.
Well, when I went to Pasadena High School, which is a public school, D was a passing grade. When I got kicked out of that system for being a knucklehead, and I went and interviewed at a private Catholic school and got myself in there without my parents even knowing, and was mowing lawns at the school and gardening and working in the bookstore. When I got my D, I was in the dean's office. If you get another D, you're out of here. And I was like, whoa. And that's the difference, is the opportunity.
That's right.
To be in a system that doesn't kowtow to pushing you through the system when you're not ready to be pushed through it.
You know what, Tracy, you're right as rain. That is a whole set, man. We could go up on a soapbox on that, but I'll tell you, my son just graduated last year, and I think the whole fucking system is broken. I'll just be plain. And if you're listening and you disagree with me, hit me up. Let's have a conversation, a constructive one, because I can tell you, I just finished with that
You
dude.
can't disagree with that.
You
man.
can't, man. So
As
it's
TSOL says, fuck the system.
Unless you understand that it's working exactly the way it was designed.
Well, that's what it is. It's
That's the
working,
key.
but
then
not.
it's not broken.
yeah.
Yeah, it's only broken from our perspective.
Right.
So true, man.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, man, everything can be made to influence a culture of young minds.
That's right, brother.
You know what I mean? And I think certain levels of certain places and state and local and federal, they see this. Look at Coke, look at Nike, look at Starbucks, look at all these crazy brands that all you have to do is see the image. You don't think the government has a whole team working on how to influence youth?
Right.
Every day it happens.
Well, that's why there's marketing departments.
Yeah.
And we Gen Z now, bro. We're in Gen Z. We're preparing these guys. Excuse me. We're preparing these kids to lead. You know, and I feel good about
You should.
these kids because they're smart.
Yeah.
Their hang-ups aren't the same as these old fogies. You know, they're much more inclusive of one another. And I think I believe we're going in a much better direction than we have been in a long time. You just got to go through the growing pains to get there.
You gotta see what they're looking for. And just like you said, they want to be heard. Some of these folks, they just want to be heard, man.
Well,
I think mentorship is key.
Absolutely.
I think it's insanely important. Like this guy right here has been a mentor for me. I got a couple of other ones. Rick, you had something you wanted?
Yeah, you're setting their table. You're setting their table.
Yeah.
You're not trying to bring them to yours. You're setting theirs.
That's
and
right.
And that.
Damn, that's deep.
Well,
That's deep.
Well, God is.
Yeah.
And Erykah Badu says, I'm planting trees under whose shade I will never enjoy. You know, or
Amen.
something like that.
Well, and
She's gonna correct you later.
you guys
don't
are
worry.
you guys are dads. Yeah, you guys are dads, but I'm a granddad. And so when I sit with those grandkids and, they want to play Minecraft and I roll my eyes, right? And the whole reason he wanted me to play with him, this is my grandson Wesley, is to send me into the building because I didn't know what I was doing so he could find all the people that were killing me. And that's the juice for me.
That's
is
teamwork.
getting into his little world and playing along with it.
Sounds like a future Marine.
Yeah. Better get him some crayons.
He loves playing with army men, so who knows.
Well, Tracy, I want to thank you again, man. And I just got a couple more things I wanted to cover with you or whatever. And I would love to do this again at another time. Man.
Let's call this part one.
Yeah.
We're going to come back and do another 45 minutes.
Yep.
Part two to get through it all because I had to.
Yeah, you're good.
Prior engagement.
That's the beauty about technology and recording. We can cut it up and do whatever. Right. So one last thing that I would like for you to kind of share about yourself right here is reflection and gratitude are extremely important to anyone who truly wants to change in their life. The rearview mirror is there just to check it out, not to step back and stare at, right? In your journey today, what's one thing you can tell somebody that if they met you 10 years ago when you were still in their lifestyle, that's different about you today?
You know what? That's a great freaking question, bro. And the one thing I could say about me is I've always been a good guy.
Yeah.
I've always cared about others and been willing to sacrifice for the team to win.
I think that's very apparent.
But now I sacrifice so I can win.
Yeah, a little bit different mindset.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I want to win too now.
Yeah.
And so the sacrifice must be different. Now I have to give up my pain so that I can have some pleasure in this life.
Clarity.
And my pleasure is being able to provide for my sons in a way that I never had. Like I daydream about building this home for them that's not gaudy, but it's just amazing to come home to with a basketball goal, and there's just plenty of yard to run around in. They can get dogs and, you know, the whole shot. You know, they deserve it, and I want them to have it.
Memories.
Yeah, bro.
That's what it's about.
And they're 10 and 8.
It's the perfect time for it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So over the next 5 or 6 years are those moments, and I want all of them.
And take every one of them, brother. And take every one of them, man. Because I tell you what, just having the pleasure to sit around you for a couple of hours in the last week, I texted this guy after we left, and I said, Rick, I have this overwhelming sense of gratitude after sitting down with you.
Wow.
And I'm a very straightforward, candid dude. Jeff Skinner, people love him or hate him, right? But I've always been a grateful dude. But I literally left that conversation the other day saying, man, I met one of the real ones. I just sat down with one of the real ones. You don't want nothing from me. I don't want nothing from you except for just relationship and trust.
Yes, sir.
And that's how brothers build.
Yes,
that's
sir.
how this guy has built what he's done with me and me with him. And I tell you what, at the end of the day, with all three of us sitting right here, man, I'm grateful for both of you guys. I'm excited. I'm like, I was just at a point where I'm like, dude, there's something bigger than all of us working right here.
That's right.
You know, I always tell him I got his 6, which, you know, means I got his back.
Yeah.
And
I knew that, by the way.
Yeah. He's a smart dude.
And that's, you know, I know.
Handsome, too.
and now I got yours.
Yeah.
You know, and I told him this the other day. I watched him for 6 months because I have to be careful about getting involved with people that are defining themselves in their own recovery and not to interfere with it. And it got to a point where I knew I had to introduce myself and build something because I could see it in his eyes, you know? And like I said, man, this guy said, I said, let's have coffee. He said, not in the morning. I'm with my kids.
I love that.
As soon as I heard that, I said, there it is.
Yeah.
That's it.
Everyone has a why, and I love that that's yours, dude.
Yeah,
Well, it's like,
truly do.
you know, people will ask me to do stuff at night, and I go, no, I'm married. I'm home with my wife. And that's because my first marriage, I didn't do that. I was gone. You know, and so I have a commitment to be home and be a husband, you know, at night. And if I go visit the kids, that's what I'm doing. I'm not running off to have coffee with my bros or any of that. It's, you know, sitting with the grandkids and the kid. I mean,
That's right.
There's a similar thing going on here in this triangle, and that's that we all gave and gave and gave and gave for so many years to so many different things that now we're putting ourselves first. And that's when you can actually change other things, is when you change yourself.
That's right.
Kudos to both you guys. I love you guys, man. We're going to wrap it up so you can get rolling. Dude, thank you for stopping by today. This is only part 1. We'll get the rest of this stuff, and we'll book another one show. That's cool
And
stuff.
I'm super grateful for the audience, you know, for amplifying the message.
Absolutely.
And anytime you want me here, I'm ready.
I love it. I appreciate it.